refuse to work it. And if we need to go through the proper channels ourselves and file formal complaints, then so be it. But it's really messed up that nothing can be done because personal vendetta is against Amish. It's uncalled for. It's absolutely uncalled for. And I'm a mailman, so I know all block roads get worked. Hodel Road just got worked. There's no reason Whitmer can't be worked at all. And the pure fact of it is too, how many people do you guys know that got stuck on Whitmer Road this year? Because the roads are so crowned, you can't pass 2 cars on that road, and there's no reason for it.
I got stuck 4 times myself.
There is absolutely no reason for Whitmer Road to be as terrible as it is, or virtually any of these roads that any of these Amish live on. And that's the biggest complaint here is, you want to go and put cameras up, so be it, whatever. But don't put them pointing at kids' bus stops or at schools.
No, it's not.
There sure wasn't. I can show you the pictures, and there's not one picture of any persons on those cameras. They're able to be set up for vehicles, and that's what,
well, that's
the
why
only
kids' school
time
bus
there's a
stop, too.
person on there is if they put their face right in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So they're set up, they can be set up for deer, for turkey, for vehicles,
I
for
understand how
people.
game cam works. I
So
have
all
game cams.
they're only set up for vehicles, so
Okay.
there's
But why?
no children.
But why?
Because we need to
For
know how
traffic
many
study.
vehicles.
For traffic study?
Yeah.
We need
But
to
you
know
put it
how
at an
many
intersection
vehicles.
instead of the beginning of a road? That don't make sense to me.
That's the representative.
Why?
Okay, then put it at the end of Henry and put it at Whitmer.
Because
Don't
we
put it
can't
in the
get them
intersection.
bonded and they're overweight.
At the
It's a 10-10
intersection,
road.
you
And that's
cover
legal
2
on them.
roads
It's
with one
agriculture
camera.
delivery, so it's
Okay.
not.
That's why it's there.
They're not
No,
overweight.
No.
Listen, the cameras are on the township right away.
Actually,
We got-
it is not, because we called Central Electric, and the telephone poles, you guys are not even allowed to put shit on telephone poles.
And I called them and asked for permission.
No,
No,
because
because
we
I
actually
called the
called
other
and
day and they said no, they haven't had
Nobody's authorized
permission.
to use our
I
telephone
called,
poles.
they did not call me back. I called Penn
No, she
Electric.
called Penn
I
Electric.
did not call Central Electric, I called Penn Electric, so.
Oh, they weren't even
So,
aware
yeah.
of it.
Well, that's fine, we can put a
No.
post up
Yeah,
and
what is
zip
the
tie it
post?
to a
I don't
post.
care where you wanna put it,
You
but
know?
the pure fact is, what pisses me off more than anything is it's right at my kid's bus stop, okay? I understand you can set them up as trucks and everything, but still, it's my kid's bus stop. You can put it at the other end of Henry and you can put it at the end of Whitmer. You guys have enough money to buy cameras, apparently you got enough, you can buy one more and put it at the other end of the road. But that's what I don't understand, is you guys wanna sit here and throw fights with the Amish about almost
No,
everything.
nobody's trying to fight with the Amish, you don't have
Come on.
the facts straight. We've
Okay.
been trying
Let's
to
go.
work with them for 3 years.
And you know how much money they have put into Whitmer Road?
Well, and
And it's not even, it's a messed up situation because
There you go, they did put stone on Whitmer Road, but we're looking at several miles of blacktop roads that are getting destroyed. It's gonna cost Craig Road, we had what was the estimate on it?
142,000.
Let me tell you what
$142,000.
Mount Zion-
We don't have that kind of
For a
money.
half mile.
And like
No,
Mount
it's
Zion
great.
Road is getting destroyed because now they're making a manure depot up there. Come on, man.
So
We
we
don't
were
have the money
trying
to do this
we
stuff.
wanted to use all the gravel, and we had an agreement with Emmanuel that he was gonna deliver all that gravel that went on Whitmer Road to the township so that we could.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Because
you did.
the
You
reason-
wasn't here.
You know what?
Don't tell me.
Ron,
You wasn't here.
you got your head like
You weren't
back
here.
here. Listen.
We were
Now, I was here
here.
when Nick Robinson was here. We was in a meeting. My dad was in that same meeting. We were sitting here in those meetings. We made an agreement then.
You
And you
wasn't
know what
here
it was?
when Emmanuel
We
was
would,
here and
that he
made
would
the
bring
agreement.
the gravel down and put it here. Okay?
There's that-
Now, what
You
happened?
wasn't here.
Everything
wasn't
happened. Hey, what your
here.
perception is and what is reality.
I know who was here. You weren't here when Emmanuel.
And what you
was
come up
us.
with as the agreement is a bunch of crap. Because the thing is, I talk to him all the time.
Well,
And you know
maybe
why
you
he
do.
don't want that gravel down here? Because after
Because he
Mick
wants to
left,
control the
after
road.
Mick left, Ray Bailey kept taking this and taking it up on the Licking Line Road.
Well,
And up on
Ray
the
Bailey,
Wilson
yeah.
Hollow Road. And over on Hill Road, and they were taking it everywhere but where you say that gravel should be. That gravel should be there. You weren't putting no gravel on
You
those
can't
roads,
blame us
and then
for
that gravel is going
It's that
elsewhere.
Ray Bailey. You can't blame us
Ray
for something
Bailey's
that
dead.
happened
Rick
20 years
Robertson's
ago.
been gone.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray Bailey's gone. The same thing. So the thing
I've
is,
been
once
here
you
for
burn a
well
bridge,
over 2 years.
once you burn
I
a
came in
bridge,
here and I was told about what was going on, and all I've tried to do is work with them. We brought the Amish proposal after proposal to try to work this out. We asked them to bond 7 miles of roads, that's a couple
You
$100.
even know the process for
Yes,
bonding
I
a
do,
road?
believe me, I've been through
We've
this
all
whole
been through
thing.
the
Then
training.
why are you going from A to Z and not doing the process of A through H before you start screaming, it's this or else? Because you don't know the
Nobody
process.
said
I
this
just
or else.
pulled out the
Who
letter
said
that we
this
sent.
or else?
You know what? I've studied all those
people
laws.
last-
I've been,
Last April
Right
7th.
there's the letter.
you know what? I've studied those laws for years. And
Good
why?
for you.
Because Dad was on the auditor on the township
We
for
had
how many,
people
40
from
years?
PSAS come.
We've been
We
down
had
that road.
Lawyers.
And the thing is, you can't just say, well, you need to bond the road or else give us $20,000 or we're gonna do this. That ain't what it works. That's called extortion.
Alternative is extortion.
All right.
And we've been down that road. The thing is, these roads aren't in general maintenance condition. Before you, as township supervisor, can force any bond, these roads have to be in general maintenance
You're
condition.
wrong. You
No,
don't
I
know
am
what
not
you're
wrong.
talking
Read the
That's
law.
what we did on
No,
last
the
year.
law is that they are to
What, you're the
bond
old
the-
God Almighty, and
So
we
now
can take,
you're not-
it's also the law that we can go to the courts and have you removed.
Go.
And we just need
Go.
5% to have
Go.
you removed.
Well,
Go
we
ahead.
can
This
do
is
it for
ridiculous.
two, and that's
Go
why
ahead.
we
Let me
put out-
ask you a question. What would you like to see done with Whitmer Road? What
Just
does it need?
for it to be work. That's it. It didn't get mowed a single time last year. It didn't even get graded. It hasn't even touched the grader. It hasn't touched that road in 3 years.
They asked us
Is
not
that
to
going
grade
on?
that road
That's
after they
some
put the
crock
gravel
shit,
in.
because-
Does it got a lot of potholes?
Yeah.
No, it's actually pretty in decent condition for the semi-traffic. But the pure
See,
fact
I'm
is, the
listening.
fucking crown of the road, you can't
I've
pass
listened
two
to you
fucking
for
cars
years.
on it.
Every time we would haul a load of slop out of the ditch, you're hauling your base away. So we get the roller, we grade the stuff out the roads, and then everybody's mad because we graded yellow clay onto the roads. It's like, we can't win. You can't win.
Of course you can't win. Why? Because you're in a government position and nobody likes the government.
That's right.
Any aspect of it. But the problem is you don't connect with the people that live on a road or people that are having to put up with, like we said, that crown was, I even asked you to take more out of my yard to widen the road in there. Great, you did. But it ended up too high in the middle, everywhere. And she backs out of the driveway and she's stuck because the van don't have, the van ain't like this. She gets back there and all of a sudden her back end's like this, the front end's over the hump this way and this back here. That shouldn't be happening, okay? She shouldn't be getting stuck on a dry road by backing out onto the road across a peak like this. Now I took my back locker and tried to take some of that peak off. It's still too peak. And like I said, how many people have slid off? We had a cop slide off into the driveway or into the ditch right there.
I couldn't hold the ball.
So it isn't just reckless drivers or people who don't know what they're doing. The road is too narrow and too peaked in there. Now it's like, how are you gonna fix that?
Is she okay in the bathroom?
Yeah, she's fine. All are.
How do you fix that? How do you widen the road now?
You want her to flat?
You got 16 and a half feet from the center of the
Couple
road.
days, I can make her flat again.
Now I can go down there and I can measure off 16 and a half feet from the crown of that road, and I've got maybe 6 to 7 feet of road before I've got 6 feet of ditch over here. Okay? That used to be road. I lived on that road for 65 years. That used to be road. It ain't road no more. A little narrow peak right like this.
I guess my question for you would be, how many years have you lived in the township?
Many.
Why didn't you, there's an election every 2 years, why didn't you get in here and try to change things? Seriously, did you ever think about that? If you don't like, here's an old
I've
saying,
been-
change the things that you can change and learn to accept the things you can't.
Well, maybe
Because that's something.
maybe you ought to take some of that same advice. Because like I said, what you guys are trying to pull is a matter of more of extortion than it is by law. All we ask is,
That's enough.
do it as the law
That's
says
enough.
on the books, not because it ought to be. And I've listened to this ought to be ever since Bory Sloganhop was the township supervisor. Do you remember that?
Well, where you
Well,
wait a
run
minute.
grader.
You gotta back yourself up 20 years. 20 years ago, you didn't have all that How often did you pass a car on that road back in them days?
Hardly
Hardly at all.
Now wait, Dan,
See,
you don't admit.
you don't listen.
Yeah.
You won't let a guy talk himself out. You just
Nope.
want to loudmouth everybody.
But-
We're here to try to discuss it, not to listen to you loudmouth everybody.
Go.
It's true. There's so much truck traffic.
The township is
Used to
changed,
be you
right?
only had a car here and there.
Have you seen
Now
the
it's
letter that we
solid.
sent last
Now,
year?
if you wanna say.
You know,
So if he goes and calls it nice and loving, you're gonna have nothing but a bunch of potholes.
Those sections.
But
are-
that's why I did it, because that.
You have a record of
So much
everything
traffic
that
on
has
it.
been done in the township for the last 20 years, right? Mick Robinson had a traffic survey done for township, for Licking Township,
Yeah.
about 20 years ago, because he wanted to put 10-ton weight limit signs on the road, where the state law is automatically that those roads are 10-ton weight limit unless there's a reason for a bridge or something.
But
that
they
needs
have to be
less.
posted in order to enforce the law. So
Now-
that's why he wanted to put 10-ton weight limit signs.
And
He
the
spent
study
You
was
can't
done.
enforce the law if
He
they're
spent
not posted.
$2,700 that could have went to gravel, that was only like $200 a load at that time, to have that road survey. And what did they come up with? 90% of all Licking Township traffic was on Whitmer Road. These other roads, like you're saying, you
That's
never see a car on them.
bullshit. That's bullshit. 90% of
She's
Lincoln
got-
Township's
she's got a
traffic.
survey.
Yeah, well, I know Canoe Ripple Road,
Right.
Blair's Corners Road has 10 times the traffic 20 years ago that
She has the survey.
Whitmer Road. Yeah, well,
That's not a survey,
whatever,
it's a road study.
whatever.
Well, that was for what Mick told us, okay? So the point being is, there is roads that get traveled more than anything else, yes. And you're saying it's Blair's Corners Road, the survey said it was Whitman Road.
The biggest issue that the plane I have is, you know what? Whitmer Road hasn't been touched in 3 years. It wasn't even mowed last year, for one. Okay? And I know this for a fact because I am a
All
builder.
the ditches, and that's when he put the crown on that road, was 2 years ago. Last year, Emmanuel put 15 loads of gravel on that road and asked us not to pull the gravel out of the ditches.
I understand that he put 15 loads on, but in the pure fact is,
And
you shouldn't even
then
have.
we
to put 15 loads
spent,
on.
I don't know how many days on Henry Road, getting a good base on it, new culverts, and rolling it in, so that we have a road that will take the tractor trailer traffic. We gave them these maps, asking them to ask their truck drivers to use those routes, so that we could concentrate on those roads that were gonna get that tractor trailer traffic, so that we could keep those roads up
Okay.
to deal with the traffic. They wouldn't even take the maps out of my hand and give it to their truck drivers.
Manuel made 50 copies of that and sent them around. Okay, so yes, he did give them out. But by law, Rob,
I gave them lots of copies.
by law, those truckers are bound, by law, once they're onto a under or weight limited road, to go from point A to point B on the shortest route.
Oh,
Unless-
that's bullshit.
unless there is a
Come
road.
on, dude, you don't know the laws. You don't tell me sit here and spit
So
these
you're
laws
saying go out
to me.
Henry Road, which is a 10-ton weight limit road.
There is nothing
When you
that
follow me,
says they
go
have
to
to
Canoe
take
Ripple,
the
which is a
shortest
10-ton
one.
weight limit road, drive the whole way around, come in an impasse, unable turn for them to come off of Canoe, back onto Whitmer, to go up here to Shady Lane.
Yeah.
Well, it's
point
not,
being is
it's
that-
not impassable, would you
It's-
like to
That
see the
is the
pictures
law.
of all the
That
trucks
is the law.
that make the
The
turn?
shortest route, that's not the shortest route. The shortest route on the 10-ton road. So you come back out to,
A 10-ton road.
no, we're saying this road here, you're saying this road's not 10 ton.
It
So
is.
you're cutting across our 10-ton road. No, that's the way you would have to go, is back out and in this.
This is a 10-ton road.
Okay, then why isn't the state doing anything about it?
They don't have a problem with it. You're the ones that have a problem
Okay.
with local delivery
No.
and an agricultural local delivery on a
you-
10-ton road.
At the end of the day, you cannot sit back and say that what's going on is wrong because of the damage they're doing for our roads and the money that we get to work with. It's not right.
You know what the state rep said about that?
What
No
is it?
township in the state gets enough money to fix their roads.
Agreeable.
That's what,
No.
they get a base rate of money, and then they write grants.
How many commercial vehicles?
Millions of
I
dollars
want
a
to go
year.
for a broom.
10 days was 207 commercial
In
vehicles
10
on
days.
6 miles of road.
Now, come on.
6 miles of road. in 10
We
days.
weren't asking for much. We were asking for some help. We wanted the $300 per calf warrant. I looked at the manual and said, this will shut us up. And the manual went back, and he did come back, and he's like, half of them say no because they don't have their barn on your road. And that's when the gravel deal come up. Now, it come to $19,000, and I told the manual, I said, you know, that this will shut us up because it's costing us a lot more than that because of the tar and chips and the blacktops. But I said, at least we're getting something. And then when we did get the deal with he was going to bring the gravel, I said, it comes here. And I said, we're going to put it, I said, it might go over there, it might go over there. I said, but this is in lieu of, I said, basically you're buying all the township's gravel for a year. I said, but it's in lieu of the damage you're doing to the tar and chips and the blacktops. And he understood that, I thought.
Craig Road, Elliott Road, Mount Zion
At
Road.
the end of the day, the dirt roads aren't the biggest issue. It's our blacktops and tar and chip. We're not even going to probably do much tar and chipping this year because the prices, you know what oil is, we won't be able to afford it. So we got to work with what we
The
got.
bottom line is we asked them to use get their truck drivers to use certain routes so that we can build those roads up and make them hold up to that type of traffic, and I don't see that as being an unreasonable request
Here's part of
whatsoever.
it, here's part of it, they're agricultural vehicles. You wanna go down that road?
Yes.
Then-
Okay.
then go by the law.
I already checked into
Go
it.
by the law.
I already checked into it. I already checked into
Go
it.
to the law and make it happen by law.
Agriculture.
We've been to the lawyers.
Agriculture is exempt.
We've had
Industrial agriculture.
Then why ain't you got the bond passed yet?
Listen.
Why ain't you got the bond passed yet?
Listen, we are in the process. It's a process.
It's a process. I've read the process. And like I said, that process, you can't just go to subsection, and say, here's the law, without continuing to go through the subsection, says, here's what you need to do next. And the bond is very specific about what has to go down that process. And you guys haven't met that process. When you meet that process, then those state, what's this guy's name, Mark Starbach,
call
will
him.
get out here to say, yeah, you know, you got a point. Because these roads are having excess damage committed beyond general maintenance capabilities. And the thing is, here's the point. If you haven't put a blade on the road in 2 years, okay, since spring of last year when you crowned it, and you haven't put a blade on since, that ain't general maintenance. That's abandonment.
But why would you grade a road?
I got a camera pointing at these roads.
Why
okay?
would you-
You know what, if we go out and fix roads that don't need fixed, that'll be the next thing.
You grade a road that don't have potholes in it. It's got a nice
Well, right now,
crown.
because it's too crowned. Okay?
Everybody thinks that I'm trying to punish somebody for that crown. That road was full of holes constantly. We were putting all our time out there. And it was washed out because of the ditches, constantly washed out everywhere. Because there's a lot of extra water now from these barns. You know it. You know, you've got, it's a big watershed.
I've lived on that road for a long
And our ditches won't handle it, so we made them deeper,
We
put
got
more
the same.
ground on the road, took care of the pothole problem.
But point is,
They-
you crown the road, that's great. But you take the grader and knock the crown off and wheel it into the path areas and make the road slate out. But you're leaving it like this. And when you leave it like that, I can't go down that road. Don't say it's illegal. I can't go down there on that road with my four-wheeler without constantly trying to keep it from going in the ditch. It's too crowded, it's too narrow. Those ditches, the problem is now is you got ditches like Ori Slogging had that are this deep. And the only way you can do anything is to fill it
Dan
with
knows,
riprap.
because he told me how many times we were out there because the road was washed out because we got a monsoon. You know it too, you've seen it the whole time.
Of course.
So we cleaned them out and made them deep and we
You
never
just
made
kept
trouble
cleaning
since.
them out though. You got it.
We cleaned
You
them out, put them
know,
up.
I'm sorry.
Bottom line is,
Bottom
you
line
know,
is-
every 2 years there's an election for township
Yeah, that's
supervisor.
right.
That's
You
fine.
know
I
what,
will
I'm
apply
not
for it.
getting-
I'll do my 6-day-a-week job on top of it, and I'll come down here.
Well,
and do
that's
what I
what
need to
we
do.
do. what do you think we? What,
You work 6 days a
you think
week?
that
You-
I
you
work
work
7
from-
fucking days a week.
Okay, you work
Yeah.
7 days a week. You don't, do you work from fucking 7 to what?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
It's fucking, it's
And not,
absurd.
and
I
not
am,
for the township. I come here on my spare time to come here. So don't think I'm getting rich at this job. You
it's
can
not
have it
being
any
fucking
time
rich.
you
I
want.
don't even fucking care if it's about getting rich, dude. I did 6 years in the fucking service, then I came here.
Whatever. I
and
was
did
in the
7
service
years.
too.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, as a federal government job, like, fuck. I'm working here, I have 4 fucking kids, and if I need to come down here and do shit, then I will. I don't have a problem with it.
Well,
I don't
you know,
mind fucking working.
Get your name on the ballot and do it, because I know myself and Len will be happy to go.
That's fine.
Do it. Get the hell out. Yeah.
That's fine.
That's
I don't have a
good.
problem with it. Anyways, I'm out of here.
What's that?
I said, I don't want you to go anywhere.
I know
You've been here a long time. You've
Let's go.
been through the process.
I'm the one that gets all the blame for it, and Len's the one that brought all this stuff up and asked somebody to do something about it.
Well,
So all I did was start a process.
Len's been here since May.
Whatever.
Now, why all of a sudden since Mick and Ray and everything sorted? Yeah, Len's been here through it all. But the thing is, it ain't cameras going up on damn telephone poles,
That wasn't-
riding on our
That
kids, getting off
was
buses
an
and everything
agreement
else.
between, well, Tim wasn't here, but that